the early 1960s, a young German engineer arrived in New York City with his family. He had a Volkswagen Beetle and he wanted it washed. Someone told him about car washes, and so he went, he watched, and something clicked. In 1964, he opened the first Mr. Wash in Dusseldorf, and on the first weekend, traffic in front of the wash came to a complete standstill because of the high demand for the services. His name was Dr. Joseph Enning, and his son Richard was 4 years old.
It was a wish of my father to see that his oldest son would one day take over this place.
Basically what my grandfather started and what my father built on top of it. So it means really a lot to me because it has shaped me since my very first years. I still have vivid memories of that, and I remember that during my childhood, Saturdays were always washing days.
The most important thing as kids, growing up in a car wash family, was the weather. The weather was the most important thing. In the evening news by 7:15, when the weatherman came on, then everyone had to be silent, everybody had to be quiet, no word said, because that was the most important piece of news that we would get all day.
Richard grew up inside the business, and when it came time to choose his own path, another company offered him a position in the international steel market. He chose car washing, and he started at the bottom.
Me and my father had a conversation about my future in this company or my future in the family business, and at that moment I decided it's beneficial for all of us if I get in the family business.
Also ich bin jetzt seit 31 Jahren im Unternehmen bei Mr. Wash beschäftigt, habe ein halbes Jahr nach dem Herrn Richard Enning begonnen. Man merkt, dass er zu keinem Zeitpunkt irgendwo loslassen kann. Also er hat überall beim Vorbeilaufen irgendwie neue Ideen, er will irgendwas weiterentwickeln und das zeichnet ihn aus, dass er da wirklich, man sieht, was aus Mr. Wash geworden ist und das ist halt der große Wandel, den wir eigentlich haben, sondern dass wir wirklich eine Erlebniswelt geschaffen haben mit dem Namen Mr. Wash.
Richard has a way of explaining how he leads. He says, "We sail by sight. Know where you want to go, but stay ready for what you find along the way." He says, "We must sow before we can harvest." And at Mr. Wash, they don't say human resources, they say human relations.
Sailing on sight is one of my famous quotes. If you cross the Atlantic, that takes 14 days or 10 days. You have to know where you want to go to, but it doesn't make sense to plan the 5th or the 6th day because there are so many things that can happen. People laughed at me at the beginning to say when we have our self-serve vacuuming areas. And in our self-serve vacuuming areas, and we try to make it as good as possible. And that meant we wanted to give our customers the possibility not just to vacuum, but also to use mat cleaners, mat machines. If you run a company well, it's always the question of the interaction between humans. The people-to-people business. In our company, not human resources, HR is human relation. If you really consider this, you have understood the key factor, in my opinion, to run a company well.
Er ist immer sehr interessiert. Also er gibt natürlich auch Sachen an, aber hört auch mir zu, wenn ich was sage und wenn ich ihm Ratschläge gebe. Und das ist wirklich, was ihn ausmacht in der Hinsicht, dass er sehr persönlich geblieben ist oder sehr menschlich geblieben ist, bodenständig und nicht nur einfach nur die Zahl oder die Anlagennummer dahinter sieht, sondern wirklich auch uns, die davor arbeiten.
What the Enning family built in Germany didn't stay in Germany. In 1996, a family from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, arrived in Frankfurt. What they saw changed them and an entire industry forever.
In 1996, when I first landed in Frankfurt, Germany, to visit my first Mr. Wash, what an experience. It's a trip that changed me forever. We arrived and there's this huge building with 4 conveyors washing cars inside. They had over 100 free vacuum stalls at the time, and customers were vacuuming their cars for free.
Immediately, I understood that would work here in the United States. Anything was free would work.
If you look at today's modern express car wash in the United States, the free vacuums, and now even the indoor vacuums, all of that came from Richard Enning and Mr. Wash in Germany. Our industry would not be the same without the Enning family and Mr. Wash.
Richard Enning is most proud of one thing, not the technology, not the 39 locations, not the 9.5 million cars washed in a year. He is most proud of the 2,300 people, well paid, deeply committed, standing behind what this company is.
All our customers always say how impressed they are when they go in the interior and to see how committed our people are. I think that is my biggest achievement during my time, to transform a company which was more mechanically driven as an outside car wash to a company that is completely human driven by people with very, very high commitment.
The way Richard focuses on people sets him apart. His willingness to share what Mr. Wash does and how they think has had an incredible impact. And he was able to extend that reach when he became the first European president of the International Car Wash Association Board of Directors.
Having grown up in two markets, having spent time in the US, and obviously building a really successful company in Germany, meant he uniquely could bring a real near global perspective on what ICA could be and who we could serve.
It's really eye-opening, some of the stuff that they do differently from how we do it, and in many cases better than how we do it. Richard, especially if he knows you, just go spend as much time as you want, ask any questions. In fact, he'll provide the ride to go from one store to the other. He might even join you. Their sense of openness, they're not afraid to share, because if we've learned something and you try and do the same, you don't need to go through the same challenges that we had. I find that very refreshing.
Raoul Enning accepted the Car Wash Hall of Fame award on behalf of his father, Dr. Joseph Enning, in 2015. Now, there are two Ennings in the Car Wash Hall of Fame.
Richard and I complement each other very well just from what we do every day and what our backgrounds are. I'm the engineer and he's more the managerial business side. I remember that was important to my father as well, that it was clear to us that we are very dependent on each other. And sometimes we don't agree 100% on new projects and where these projects, where we should do them, or the sites, or the real estate, or what the property, but usually he's always right, yes.
This award is not only a snapshot for what Mr. Wash is now in 2026, but from my point of view, it is a recognition for decades of hard work and dedication. It is very important for people to know that my father is a very hard-working and a very humble man.
You know, we've been really fortunate to recognize a lot of outstanding operators and vendors in the ICA Car Wash Hall of Fame. And I'm not going to take anything away from those previous recipients, but at the same time, I'll tell you, I can't think of another car wash operator at any time in this industry's history that deserves this honor more than Richard. What he has exemplified and shown others in terms of ideas that have been put to work all over the world certainly deserves him induction in this year's Hall of Fame.
It's great to see Richard receive this award. I saw his dad get the award in Amsterdam. Richard, it's really wonderful for you to get this. I know your dad will be very proud of you.
Richard, congratulations. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to your family and your entire team. It's an honor well deserved. Your father would be very proud of you. And more importantly, thank you so much for the many years of friendship. This is a great moment. Enjoy your day. Well deserved.
I think one of the big worries that my father had was that the sea would get very wild and there would be some high water and some difficulty in the future of Mr. Wash. I think that was one of the worries that he had. If he were to see what has turned out now and how this company has developed in the past 16 years, and ultimately what he started, and then his son, his first son, and then now, after a while, me as well, have carried on through him, I think he would be very proud of what Richard did. So, good job, Richard.